Let's get into this match. Only have Rajang in this hand. I don't like that. I want to have a little bit more. So, okay, we got Wolf. We got Ieyasu. Not too bad. I'm feeling... I felt pretty good about this start. These are, we're voicing over some replays, as you know. And he starts off aggressive. So I'm like, do I want to block that? Or should I just wait up for my MP? And I was like, ugh. I'm going to take a lot of damage from that agility there. So I don't want to put myself in a dangerous position because if the game goes long, the change form could get really obnoxious. So just want to save a little bit of life while I can. And then we got a nice shield there to stop the damage. And I go for the Ieyasu. I was debating about going for the Ieyasu or the Iris, but I thought that playing aggressively against this deck is going to be a better option due to being able to basically apply that pressure and get ahead and keep it up. Because once the owls start coming online, then we might be in some trouble. And I kind of predict a block there, which is pretty good with the shield. So we're going to keep our buddy alive. And I want to keep it alive yet again. So we got to go and play our card that takes half our deck and splits it as life between our units. So that's going to be almost 10 HP between our units. So should keep our wolf alive. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, Ieyasu or Wolf. I go with Wolf because I think that Ieyasu is a huge threat on his own already, because he is, he's got buffed up. He's the 410 agility monstrosity, and he's giving life to both units every time he attacks. So if I go all in with Shieldspire on Ieyasu and he destroys it, then we could be in a spot. There, but a nice little Iris finally coming down to help us build our MP. Just in case one of our units dies at this point, I want to have that to be able to, power into our Rajang or the Were-Tiger. And I opt for reducing his unit down to a 2/2 because it's going to keep the wolf alive, right? It's all about keeping our threats alive right now. We're in a really good spot. And if we keep our wolf alive, we have, 2 more attacks. These are both agility. They're coming in quick. And we take that. Could not get a blocker down in time. How's it going, YouTube? Today we're talking about Big Green Felyne. This deck it's kind of new, popping up. Basically only exists because of the alligator card. Basically, you just slap down big green units. It's kind of existed before with Shara, and now with the alligator, it's coming back, making a little bit of a run for its money. But in my experience playing it for the past week or so, it is, I would say, around like a mid-tier. Not quite as good as some of the best decks, but it can hold its own. It's pretty fun to play, and I'm kind of like, calling it it's like Big Resonate, but it's like the green version of Big Resonate. So it's a little bit less unfun for the opponent. So here's the deck list. But most of the deck is just protection, because you want to play one big dude and you want to protect it. You want to keep that guy safe. So you've got 6 shields. You've got ways to bring it back when it's destroyed, get it placed back again. So that's also a nice way to rush in some extra damage with alligator. I've seen I haven't done that, but I've played against that and it got me. So that is a pretty neat use of that card. You've also got the one that does split life. So basically you take half of your deck that's left and then you split that as HP amongst your units. And so that can be huge. It can be like 8-10 life split gain amongst your units, which is huge. And it can just make your one beefy dude even beefier, make it that much harder to take down, which is exactly what you want. And then you've got a lot of MP boosters. That's going to help you kind of diversify your threats, get ahead in the MP game, and can also be used as bait to make your opponent be like, I don't want to deal with that. let's get the MP booster out of there, and then you're like, now you gotta deal with the thing I actually care that you deal with, which is the big beefy dudes like we're talking about. That's what the whole deck is about. Pretty cool. Let's talk a little bit about the threats. Basically, you got the Rejang, which flips into this like 3/10 combo piercing monstrosity. That is really, really hard to deal with, especially with all the 3 costs that people are playing around. But I will say that with Faith, interestingly enough, I think it got a little shadow nerf to Shieldspire, because if Faith stacks up enough, it's pretty easy for decks to get 4 attack, 5 attack units, which beat through the Shieldspire. So you're not kind of that passive of reducing anything of 3 damage or less down to 1 is not quite as effective in this meta, in my opinion. But our other threats, of course, Alligator, it's rushing for 5. And when it decimates, it's getting 4 HP back. So it's just bopping things, getting bigger at the same time. It moves into the lane when your opponent plays a new unit, so it's hard for your opponent to stick units once you've got an Alligator on the field. It can take over games. It can take over games. And speaking of taking over games, you've got the Were Tiger, which is arguably better at taking over games than the Alligator, because it gains 1 attack every time it attacks. It's got agility, so it's stacking it up quickly, and whenever it kills something, it moves in front of another unit, so you're just killing another thing, kill. You do have to be careful though, because if the only unit left is on your side of the field, it will go to the opponent's side of the field, and you do not want that. So I feel like I've been rambling a little bit too long about this deck, but it's basically big dudes, protect the big dudes, and I'll have 3-way plays for you where we kind of analyze my thought process going through these games, because it is a little bit of a high risk, high reward deck, and you want to make sure you're thinking about what's going into your plays. All right. Replay number 2. This should be a Dark Destruction matchup, so I'm kind of okay with this hand. The Alligator and the Were Tiger are going to... Oh, Bringer of Nightmare. Sorry about that. But I'm like, I can drop the Felyne early. That's either going to build up a bunch of MP for me, or it's going to get him to use some sort of destruction, which I'm totally cool with. And he goes for Living Death there, or Living, not Spreading Infection. Spreading Infection, that's what that one is. So going for the Spreading Infection, trying to thin the deck a little bit. But the MP from Felyne is coming in clutch. It's actually going to do a positive trade with the zombie as well. So now I'm looking to play this Alligator. Bam, bam, bam. And unfortunately, the Felyne's going to die. I could have shielded it. And then I go for the Iris to block the zombie, just get the MP ramp going a little bit here. And then, I'm not too worried about the top lane. That zombie came back way too quick, man. It came back way too quick. So I'm trying to figure out what to do here, because I don't really have a good way to block it. And because of Iris being in the way, Alligator didn't get to move there. So that's a little unfortunate if you ask me. So I'm just trying to cycle a little bit and get myself into a good position. And starting to think about Were Tiger at this point too. Like, how can I utilize it and not have him get decimated? So I take the risky play of dropping the Were Tiger in the top lane and eating 6. That, looking back on it, that is probably a tough choice. But our Felyne does trade with the zombie, so I guess it was kind of okay. And oh gosh. So this is what I was talking about, the Were Tiger going to the opponent side, and now I'm like, oh crap. We got to start cycling our actions, because if he finds a destroy for our Alligator, we are going to be in not happy town. And we don't want to be in not happy town. Oh, what's up, Kyle? So going for a shield. Oh, got another Alligator, thank goodness, because we have quite a hill to climb with only 6 HP left. I'm trying to figure out So we're trying to figure out how we're going to start winning this matchup and kind of claw our way back in. So I was like, oh, shoot, I should have played that one. Just get another cycle in, do what I can, and I'm going to try to just be really aggressive here. I need to close this HP gap is kind of what I'm thinking, and the alligators will move into whatever lane the opponent tries to go into. And I'm glad we had our cycling going with some of our actions, because, you know, that could have been brutal. And there's a replace when destroyed. That would have been nice there, but you can't always have the right answer. So now we're just hoping this alligator, come on, alligator, trying to get it all the way in. And oh boy, the revenge flyer 4 attack while we're at 6 HP. That is not exactly a situation I want to be in. So I am going to silence that. And this is one of the dangers of this deck, because alligator is great at dominating the field, but in the end game here, the opponent could just slap something down, and now I do not have a blocker for really anything. So that's kind of a problem. That is kind of a problem. Another revenge flyer. I'm like, can I afford to take 3 damage? I'm not really sure. I don't need to do the shield, because it's only going to do 1 damage because of Shieldspire. Thank goodness for that. But honestly, this is a rough one. I think if the opponent was playing a little bit smarter here and knew about moving alligator around, we would have lost for sure. And the shield's gonna work now. Another alligator. So we're 3 alligator hits away. Ooh, and this is a nice little use of the replace when destroyed. He takes out his own blocker, and then we're just coming right back. Boom. Oh, dude, these flyers, man. I cannot deal. And I was originally going to play Ieyasu, I think, or the alligator, just try to be aggressive. And there you go. He figures it out. I go in the top lane. I'm like, you know what? I can take 1 damage. And I just need to get 1 more in there. Hopefully it'll be good enough. And he goes for the destroy again. I have the replace, but I know it's not quite the timing isn't working out. That zombie wasn't fast enough. I just go for it anyway. Oh, and then he gains life. So we still need 2 alligator hits. It's going to come down to this flying robot spider and alligator to finish this game. And you saw, like, we do unfortunately lose, but the opponent played smart moving the alligator at the end. So, oh, okay, match number 3. This is going to be Shinku Hadoken. I feel all right here because we've got shield, we've got the split HP with our deck card. So we're going to be able to take this alligator to the bank. And that should be enough to deal with Shinku Hadoken. In my opinion / experience. So, you know, you don't always need an opener with like an MP gainer or anything like that. You kind of just slap it down. This is the big resonate type of I don't want to say game plan. I don't know if it's the right word, but similarities is where like you just kind of slap it down. And the Dan coming out, and so I just like, you know what, I have 7 HP, you're not going to be able to kill me in 1 shot, so let's just split 11 HP just straight onto my dude, and I'll just, you know, I'll shield that, yeah. It doesn't make sense to just take 4 damage for no reason. Especially with the Dan living, and then it's going to poke here and there, and I'm like, okay, well, I can play Felyne, I can Shieldspire the Felyne. I already forgot what I was doing. So I do Shieldspire the Felyne. In retrospect, that is because I want to get MP. I want to gain this MP advantage. I've already got a 518 freaking alligator, man. I don't really need him to be stronger, you know what I'm saying? The Shinku Hadoken is not even going to do half the HP there. And so opponent's starting to build up some MP now. So I go for a shield here. My thought behind this shield there is a little bit for the cycle, but also because I wanted to have a shield up so the opponent couldn't play a bunch of units and then go straight into Shinku Hadoken. On my Felyne, I want to keep him alive. Keep generating that good MP, you know what I'm saying? So that worked out pretty well because the opponent did play those units, which allowed them to have Shinku Hadoken, but with a 523, holy moly. Talk about big. With the 523, just kind of looking at the opponent's face, that Shinku Hadoken is not going to do much. So now I'm kind of just wasting MP. I'm not really sure what to do. I decide to go for the Were-Tiger. The Were-Tiger is always kind of tricky because, you know, it could end up on the other side of the field, but it should be pretty good. Shinku Hadoken coming out on there, but it'll be fine because it won't kill it. We'll still kill that Claire. And then here, I believe I made a little bit of a mistake. See, I go for the shield there. And I shouldn't go for the shield there because they would normally trade. And then if they trade, then they just trade. But now if I put the shield in, if the shield goes through, then my Were-Tiger will live, and then it'll end up on the opposite side of my alligator. So it's kind of just a little unnecessary. So we're just going some action trading here. I want to try to cycle because I know he's only at 5 HP. It's only one more alligator hit, but I still got to make that hit happen, and it would be good to have another threat just in case he whittles down this alligator before I can find anything. But is he gonna have anything? Does he have anything? Come on, block it. Block it. There we go. Okay. And alligator. Oh, so yeah, don't do this. Pro tip, do not place a unit that can't block in front of alligator when you're about to lose. So I just go on place. It's going to come back. Shield that 5 damage. So even if he does manage to kill the alligator, it's going to come back with rush. That unit can't block. It's not looking great for the opponent. I think after this chain, we'll win. Yup. Okay, so we saw some good play against alligator. And we saw some bad play in this match against alligator. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deck. Hope you enjoy the replays. Here's a QR code. Thank you so much for watching this far in the video. I really appreciate it. And as you always do on the channel, keep on learning, having some fun with me here on the Durian channel. And I'll see you around. Peace.